All right, welcome back to Database History. Today, we're going to dig into something pretty fascinating, how one of the world's biggest retailers, Costco, built a multi-billion-dollar empire on a database system that is, well, surprisingly simple. You know, when you think of Costco, you probably think of those huge warehouses, the bulk items, maybe the Kirkland products. But behind all of that, there's a hidden secret that drives their incredible success, something most of us will never, ever see. And I know what you're thinking, but no, it's not the legendary $1.50 hot dog combo, though trust me, we will get back to that. The real secret, the engine that just prints money for this retail giant, is its database. So let's get right into it. This is Costco's billion-dollar secret. We're going to look beyond the concrete floors and giant carts to find a system built on brutal, unbelievable efficiency, one that outperforms some of the most complex tech stacks in the entire retail industry. You see, it all boils down to one core philosophy, the strategy of simplicity. And selling fewer things, that isn't just a choice they made for their stores, it's their ultimate data weapon. I mean, just look at this comparison. The difference in scale is just staggering. You've got Walmart carrying over 100,000 unique products, what we call SKUs, and then there's Costco, stocking only around 4,000. This wasn't an accident. It's a completely deliberate choice that defines their entire approach to data. And that is the key concept right there. With fewer variables to track, the database becomes exponentially simpler. Think about it. Less inventory, fewer suppliers, and way less complex forecasting. It's a straight line from their business model directly to their technical efficiency. Okay, so how does this precision data engine actually work? Well, it really comes down to three core components, and every single one is built on that same minimalist philosophy. First up, the absolute foundation of everything, the membership database. Every single shopper has a unique ID, and every single purchase is tied directly to it. They don't need some fancy complex AI to try and guess who you are. You literally tell them when you sign up. This one thing gives them one of the cleanest, most reliable customer data sets on the planet. So now take that incredibly clean membership data and apply it to that tiny set of products. What do you get? The signal becomes unbelievably clear. They can track demand, inventory, and how their suppliers are performing with an accuracy other retailers can only dream of. There's no noise, there's no clutter. It's just pure, high-signal data. All right, next up is the supply chain machine. It runs on a mix of proven, reliable technologies, lean relational databases, real-time inventory systems, and direct EDI feeds that let their vendors talk straight to Costco's system. You see, the magic here isn't some brand new revolutionary tech. It's about being incredibly good at predicting a very small number of things. And this focus on reliability over, the shiny new thing, that's a huge clue to what we're about to find at the very core of their entire operation. And that brings us to the part of this story that honestly surprises just about everyone. The core technology that underpins this whole global operation. Let's call it the DB2 revelation. So, okay, after everything we've just talked about, the massive scale, the precision, the billions and billions of dollars in revenue, what kind of cutting-edge, hyperscale, cloud-native database do you think is running this whole show? The answer is this. Just a simple, stark logo. And for a lot of people in tech, this is a total shock. Yeah, just let that sink in for a second. That's right, IBM DB2. The database that's tracking their global inventory, their millions of members, and billions in revenue is a piece of tech that most people wrote off as legacy years ago. But here's the thing. It's stable, it's predictable, and it's almost impossible to kill. And this quote right here, it just says it all. Look, Costco doesn't need some massive hyperscale distributed database. What Costco needs is a database that never, ever calls in sick. For their high volume but low complexity workload, it is the perfect tool for the job. And when you look at the rest of their tech stack, you see that same minimalist approach everywhere. So you've got DB2 running the core ops, SQL Server is in the stores for reporting. Then, for the modern analytics, they use tools like Azure and Snowflake, which lets them look at historical trends without ever touching that live, critical system. But look at what's missing. There's no massive Oracle footprint, no Google Spanner for global distribution. Their philosophy is just crystal clear. If we don't absolutely need it, we are not buying it. Okay, so this brings us to the minimalist advantage. And this isn't just about saving a few bucks on licenses. This approach is a legitimate competitive weapon.
You see, simplicity has consequences, but they're all really, really good ones. When your data structure is clean, you've got fewer tables to manage, fewer complex joins to write, and way fewer of those weird edge cases that can break your systems. All of this leads directly to fewer forecasting errors and, this is the big one, way fewer operational failures.
So let's talk about how they use this simple system in the real world. That famous treasure hunt where you find all sorts of random items, that's not just chaos. It is a series of highly controlled database experiments. They'll drop a new product in, track its sales data with surgical precision, and then the data decides if it stays or if it goes. It's pure data-driven discovery. Which, finally, brings us back to this, probably the most famous price in all of retail. Because that hot dog combo, it is so much more than just a cheap lunch. Its price is a cold, hard, data-backed decision. The data proves, without a doubt, that the food court drives people into the store. It increases how much they spend, and it boosts membership renewals. The database literally says that hot dog is a profit center for loyalty. So the price stays. You know, Costco never tried to build some massive, sprawling data empire like their competitors did. Instead, they focused on building a precise one. It's a minimalist system where simplicity is the ultimate superpower. At the end of the day, Costco proved you don't need petabytes of messy, complicated data to completely dominate the retail world. You just need the right data and the discipline to ignore all the rest. And that kind of leaves us with one final provocative thought. What if the most powerful database in retail is the one everyone just forgot existed?